Okay, so I am reading a book and it's called Living to Die. And what's so amazing is that one thing I've always been fascinated or interested in death. I've always wanted to know what happens when we die. Why are we scared to die? Why do we cry? What is death? What is it really? So one thing especially when someone dies, it brings it back to my memory. Like, this is something I don't really understand. I want to figure this out. So I was reading this book, and I am still reading it, and it's so deep. You know how you can only take so much wisdom at a time, and then you just like, oh my God, this is so much. This is so good. To where you got to soak it in. Okay, so what I am getting from this, and I think it's powerful, is that when you die, you don't die. What really happens is your test is over. Your test is over. Your life that you live on earth is a testing period. Once you die, that's like God has taken the test off of your desk and he's grading it. So you ask, okay, well, what does that mean? That means in order to get 100 to go into heaven to live with Christ, you got to pass this test of life. And that's the thing. We're living our lives as if our test isn't graded. You know how like sometimes a teacher might say, well, you're going to take a test, but it's not graded. Do you care about it? Mm-mm. You might not even really take it. You might guess. We fail to realize that the life we live today is a test. And we never know when God is going to say, all right, Janelle, let me grade your test. Because if I die, my flesh rots. I rot. I die. That's why the older I get, you can start seeing some wrinkles coming on. You start seeing because this is just flesh. But my spirit will live. But my spirit is what's going to be tested. They're going to put this body in a casket, close the door, put it in the ground. But my spirit is going to be tested. My spirit is going to have to pay for how well I studied. How did I? So, okay, so I'm overstepping myself. All right, so you're taking a test of life right now. If you can hear my voice right now, you are taking a test. What does that mean, you say? That means that you have hope. You can look over your answers. Look over your life. Look over your life. A lot of you might say, well, how do I prepare for this test? You study. How do you study for life? You read the word. Because you got to figure out where you're trying to go. Right? If you're not trying to pass the test to go to heaven, you going to hell. You do it. You can wild out. Do what you want to do. Do you. But if you're trying to go to heaven and you're trying to be with Christ, this test, this life right here, this life we have right now, this is a test. So you basically have to line your life up with what the Lord is telling you. Okay? And I know, like I was telling Kristen, there are so many things in this world we live in now that's to trip us up, to make us to the point to where we, get distracted, homosexuality, the music, illnesses, so many things get us off of what we are really doing. We're taking a test. We're taking a test. So you might say, okay, well, of course I want to pass this test. How do I pass it? You get so close to God that he becomes your tutor. He's the teacher. He knows all the answers. It's just like we tell my son who's in college. We tell him all the time, even if you don't know how to do it, you need to go talk to the teacher. Go talk to the teacher. The teacher will see that you try it and he might pass you. We tell him that all the time. You have to let these teachers know I'm serious. Same thing with life. You got an issue, you got to go to God. You got to say, Lord, I need help. I need help. Because guess what? It's up to him. He's grading the test. So people say, okay, so this is another thing I was telling my daughter. In life, churches, people look at churches as if they are the way. You know what churches are? They're tutors. Preachers, they're tutors. They're tutoring you. But you still have to study. You can get a tutor to help you take a test, but guess who got to take that test? You still got to take that test. A tutor is just a helper. They can't take the test for you. You have to take a test. And the thing about it is you never know when your test is going to be graded. We have no clue. So what do? What do you do for a test? You prepare. You study. You get a tutor. You're ready. You're prepared. So, ain't nothing better than when you know you're ready and your test, the teacher says, okay, everybody bring up your test. I'm grading them. You anxious. You ready. You want to know what I got. Because you're ready. You're ready. You're ready. You're ready. You're ready. That's what happens when we die. When our heart stops, God has literally taken the test and said, okay, let me grade it. So right now, ask yourself, if the Lord took your test is over. He's going to grade it. What will you get?